Okay, so now let's get into our linked counters and our templates and, oh, not templates, excuse me. So setting up our linked counters, and then we'll get into setting up patterns. Linked counters first, that's this little guy right here. Linked counters look like this. And first it'll tell you your settings. So like for this shawl, we'd be knitting flat. If you're knitting a sweater or a hat, it'd be knitting in the round. Which direction are you going for your first row? This would be going to the left because it's a right side row, I think. So you'd be going that way. And then how many times are you repeating this piece? I think this is chart B, so it'd be repeating it twice. So that's your first setup, and then you're going to hit your plus sign, and you would be, is this shaping or is it a row repeat? Shaping is for things like your sleeves, your buttonholes, your anything that you would need to shape. So let's start with a row repeat, an imaginary row repeat, because actually nothing really repeats itself in this pattern. So this is great for if you're like, oh, row 5 repeats itself, repeat this 2 times or whatever. So we set up a row repeat. We'll name it a row repeat. How many times does it repeat itself? Let's say it repeats itself 2 times from row 2 to row 3 maybe. Or we can drag this down, so we can say, I just said an imaginary row 5, so we'll say, oop, stop that. From here, we'll say row 5 to row 8, which is actually row 8 to row 10. So this whole little section of row 5. So we'll say this repeats itself 2 times, and then you're all done setting it up. And that way, when you go back to your knitting, after it's all set up, when you go back to knit it, you're going along, and you see it's kind of highlighted out here in yellow. When you get to that row 5, and you're working along, it'll automatically hop you back to that row 5, and then it will go on. Now, the other thing that you have